Nation and mining family. Crypto Nation and mining family. What's going on? Of course, like always, it's not financial advice. Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family. What's going on out there? So how are all of you people doing on this Monday? Mondays, you just gotta start off slow, right? Sometimes, man, I got up this morning late for work. Oh, that was amazing, right, guys? I ended up not sleeping so well last night, so of course you end up sleeping in, but that's just a whole nother story in itself, right, guys? But before we dig into any of the juicy tidbits, yo, guys, check out hotrodmining.com. You can sit there and support me. All this stuff I've designed myself except for the PC equipment, guys. So check out the PC equipment and all that good stuff in there, the shirts, the hats, and you can get amazing hats like this one. Yo! Or, nope, I don't have the other one with me. So, but yeah, definitely, guys, check out all that good stuff in there. And without any further ado, let's kind of jump into the juicy tidbits. So, guys, for all of you Linux users out there, sorry, Windows guys, all you Windows users, this one doesn't pertain to you this one time. So, looks like there is a way to get your Linux PC to be mining without you knowing anything about it. So it looks like a couple of guys have stumbled upon a malware that keeps its crypto mining operations completely hidden in the background of your PC. And of course, it's mining that Monero. I'm just saying. But this one produces a couple of horrific implementations on the backside of it. So basically, SkidMap masks its crypto mining by utilizing a rootkit, which is installed. The program is installed and executes code on the system without the end user's consent or knowledge that it's there. This makes the malware component undetectable by the infected system's monitoring tools, because basically it's replacing some of the main components in your PC, which is not really good. It basically gives them full access to everything on your Linux device. Basically what it does is I think where is it at? It replaces the system's pam underscore unix.so file with its own version, which it will accept specific passwords, allowing them access into your machine, guys. So guys, be careful out there of where you are getting your code, especially with Linux. Linux has a few features that I like myself. One, that the code is all open sourced, guys. 100%. A lot of it is open source. Not 100%, but a majority of it is open source. And that's one thing I like about Linux. And then you're basically building. So if you like building stuff, Linux will appease to all of you guys, because you got to build the OS, tell it how, the drivers to get, what drivers you need to use. Just if you got AMD, NVIDIA, makes a difference. And there are places where you're going to get closed source code that's in Linux, but you got to make sure that it's code that you trust from the developers directly, and you got to trust the developer that's not doing anything malicious on the backside of that too. The last thing you want to do is be sitting there and having on the backside of the code an rm-rf root, which would basically reformat your hard drive. I mean, that would be unfortunate. Like if you if you don't know what you're looking at in there, the RM is the remove command. The RF slash is the recursive force, goes into all subdirectories, guys. So if you got to know that that is not baked into the backside of your code, and womp 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 womp, you lose your hard drive. Well, you just lose everything that's on it. So definitely be careful with what you're downloading and where you are getting it from. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, even for a novice person. For one, make sure that you're getting it from trusted websites. Make sure that other people are also using it. That's an easy check. But if you want to dive a little bit deeper into it, as a Linux user, guys, you can basically do a few verifications. Now, there might be better ways of doing this out there. If any of you guys have any better ways, please hop into my Discord and chat with me directly. I would love to pick your brain. If you are a Linux expert and there's better ways of doing this, please correct any kind of information that I may have, please. Because I'm not this Linux expert. I know enough to be dangerous with it, I guess. So there are a few different ways that I know of that you can sit there and do a few checks of your program. For one, if you are downloading the program onto your Linux device and it's asking for permissions right off the bat, you should be sitting there and reading the permissions that it's asking for one. Two, make sure that if it's asking for it, if this is normal, you want to verify all this stuff, because like if you sit there and give something permission coming into your computer, it can sit there and download a bunch of malicious stuff that you're unaware of because you blindly said yes to something. So definitely make sure and don't trust, verify that that's what it's supposed to be downloading. But you can do an MD5 sum check using Linux. So you can pull up your command line, and then you can sit there and execute an MD5 sum with the file name, and guess what, guys? It's going to produce a SHA-1 encryption. And if the encryptions do not match, it means one of two things. Okay? Either one, the file was downloaded not properly, and it's got a corrupted package in there, or it's got a manipulated package in there that's not checking up to what it's supposed to be, and it sees it as a corrupted file, and now the SHA does not match. So these are just some simple ways that I kind of know of to check against. That's like one quick way of doing it. And this is also a way to make sure that the program, if it's a large file too, and it took a while, you can sit there and check to make sure that the file's not corrupted before you download it onto your Linux rig. Because you guys know, I mean, if you guys run Linux at all, if you download something improperly, Linux has a heart attack. So you want to try to prevent that before you run it. So this is something that you can sit there and check to make sure the program is downloaded right, or if it was a bad program to begin with. Now, if you're suspecting that it's a bad program, there is another step that you can use, and this one is the DIFF. So you can sit there and basically command it, Linux, to show the difference between two different files. So if you can find a second instance of the program that you're looking for. Let's say you found one in one spot, and then you think you found the one from the original developer, and you want to know what the difference between, maybe somebody updated something and you want to know. You can sit there and put in the command line for the diff, and have it where it'll put it into two different columns. So the diff-y, file 1 and file 2, so you put the two different files on there, and it'll run through all the code on there, and it'll pull it into two different columns, what was different between the two packages. So you want to sit there and verify between the two packages, was there something different in there? These are ways to sit there and quick verifications. Now, if it's pulling up a bunch of code and you're like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing here, this is a little over my head. Some of that even would be over my head. I understand a little bit. Like I said, I know enough to be dangerous in some areas. I do know how to set up Linux. I do know how to manipulate some of it, not all of it. But if you're sitting there and you're questioning what you're looking at, I would definitely slow up, and maybe even come into my Discord and reach out to one of my community members. I do have some people in my community that are really versatile with the usage of Linux, and they know Linux a lot better than I do. Maybe they'd be able to sit there and point you down a way that's a little bit better than what I have. Otherwise, when in doubt, guys, don't download it. It's if you're getting it from a third party, not the original developer, that's usually an issue right off the bat, because once you execute, you don't know if you are actually putting down some malware that's going to run in the background and is going to be sitting there and potentially making copies of anything that you have on there, whether it be if you're using it for your Linux device for work or whatnot. They can sit there and basically backdoor into your computer and take whatever information out. And if it's blackmail you or something stupid, or God, I'd hate to see anybody have any issues just because they accidentally downloaded something from a third party and did not verify it. So I hope that this helps anybody out for sure. If there's any information that you think that I have missed in any way, shape, or form, please either drop a comment in down below, or I have links in down below to my Discord. Certainly hop in there, talk with me directly. I would love to pick your brain if there's a better way to really verify all of this information. And with that, guys, I will definitely see you all. Oh, before I even do that, guys, while you're sitting there looking and dropping comments down below, guys, smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, share these videos. At least share it with one person, just one. It helps me grow my channel. Trying to get all this awesome knowledge out to all of you great people out there. And with that, guys, definitely see you on the next one. Peace.